Because it's like, I was trying to other stores, but they can't go. So I was trying to get more than five prospects that I was trying to get.
So it's like,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Their goal is to get 10 prospects in, they just basically talk to 20 people and get 10.
That's tight.
But they
That's tight. You hear that, Tom? Repeat that again, Tom.
I was saying that, if you decide to talk to actually, if you have to find prospects, I was trying to get,
When I do-
prospects. Well, they those into my
When I do-
prospects.
When I do,
Like 3 hours.
I'm sorry.
Just trying to build my team.
Yeah.
Because my goal is to be home office.
I don't think I need your back.
You have to
Small
measure how many
My goal is.
Are you trying to listen to me?
No, Shaq, where did you go?
Very long.
Start off.
Yeah, so it's the only one to, the 25 grades. It's not to find that close to what I need.
You know what I'm saying?
Looking like you put it in your burger sandwich
You have a minute.
Can you hear me?
this week.
Hold on.
Do I press anything? Volume up.
Start talking.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Check 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think I need a mic.
Everybody do me a favor. Can everybody just be quiet for a second? Test me out of the mic. You just start talking.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Buenos dias. Pretty good. Is it good? I just put it up.
It's pretty important.
All right, guys. Shaq is running a little bit, he's got a couple minutes so we're walking in here, so, I got put on the spot to start out this meeting. How's everybody doing? Good, awesome. So, who is on the board for the month in general? Personally, not your team, personally. Okay, so it's the month of December, basically it's 2020, and I was watching, who watches PFN TV? PFN TV. So I started here when I was 20 years old, and so when I went out back to Penn State University in August, right, literally a month and a half after, I didn't have my trainer physically with me. I didn't have Shaq physically with me. And I was telling Ginny here, because one of her girls was going to be in licensing class and has 3 potential guests already confirmed for tomorrow, right? And, there's different ways you can think about how you're going to get what get out of meetings or what these meetings are about. But when I left, I was so like, I was in a position and mental state where it's like, oh my God, I'm not able to miss this meeting. There's so much great stuff. So I went on PFN TV and I trained myself basically there. And unintentionally, I learned about other people's stories and I was able to build relationships with people on campus from literally ground zero to whatever relationships I have now. This was 7, 8 years ago. And for a whole year straight, for literally a whole school year straight, every single week, I had a guest in Virginia at Shaq and all the other RVP's offices for every single week and over a whole school year. I didn't miss 1 week, but I was away in Pennsylvania, right? How did that happen? Because I watched PFN TV, I looked at different ways to build this business, and I heard from different leaders, and I ran everything through my upline, through my RVP, through Shaq, and I was watching PFN TV the other day, because they do a live, I think Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 noon. I don't watch it consistently, to be honest. But when I didn't have as big of a team, I watched it very consistently. And so when I watched it, they were talking about, Glenn Williams was talking about, this is 2020 coming up, but really it's a decade of dominance. It's not 2020. Where are you going to be in the next 10 years? 10 years. The last year, Primerica, our company alone, just for the people who are brand new, whose first time is it in here on Friday? Okay, cool. You guys are in for a treat, because not from me, but from Shaq when he walks in, right? Because this is a more intense meeting in a great way. You get more of the nuggets, straightforward, really direct. And these leaders on PFN TV put it more direct too. So they were saying, where are you going to be in the next 10 years? Tanya Poe got out and she said 10 years ago, she was a division leader making 40K, rolling 12. She's over 600 grand now, 10 years later, right? Quit a job as a probation officer. Where are you going to be in the next 10 years? Last year alone, we promoted $7 million earners. 7 earners that make $1 million a year, just the last 12 months. And when we came in, we only had, me and Shondell came in almost the same time. We had like, what, 50, $60 million earners? We're at 94, almost 95 now. And that was what, 7-8 years ago?
Yeah.
Just last year, we promoted $7 million earners. So the new thing, the new trend is that they're trying to focus on as far as us as a company is making sure we pay attention to the Primerica app, okay? Because there's a lot of things on there that our newest people can do. And so I wanted to talk about how our guys are really being focused on licensing and getting in the field more. It's the way that they fixed up the Primerica app is so awesome because now you can just click it directly how to figure out your app, where you are for your licensing. A new person can even track their team now, where their teammates are. So that's awesome. But you got to get people on the Primerica app ASAP. As soon as they submit their IDA and download it, and they have to download their Primerica app within 24 hours, or else they miss out on the free $50 that they're giving. The company's already just giving money just so that you can follow up on the app and make sure about that, okay? So I really recommend you guys watch the last PFN TV. I think it was from this past Monday, and watch the whole thing. And Tanya was on there, so who doesn't know who Tanya Poe is? Oh, you guys gotta ask your uplines for an audio for Tanya, because I'm not gonna repeat her story, but she was $2.2 million in real estate debt prior to coming here, 26 grand in IRS debt, and now she paid off all her debt 7, 8 years, 10 years later at $600,000, quit her job as probation officer. Hey guys, morning, yeah. So go on PFN TV. If don't do it during the day, obviously follow your uplines and make sure you do that. But that's just a couple of tips that helped me when I was younger in the business, and I listened to everything Shaq said. So be resourceful, right? You don't really need your trainer, and I want to be careful when I say this. You don't need your trainer to do everything for you. You have to be self-sufficient at some point. Start calling home office at some point when you're licensed, right? Start calling, scheduling your exams. Ask your trainer how to schedule your exam on your own if you didn't pass it the first time. Make sure you go through all of that, because the more self-efficient you can be, the more self-efficient of a leader you can be once your new person comes in. Because when your new person comes in, do you want them looking at you or directly to your trainer first? I mean, it could be good or not so good, right? I mean, there's some advantage. If I was under Shondell, if I was Josh, I would want somebody to look at Shondell, because I'm only Josh. I could only say what Josh says, think how Josh thinks. Sometimes it's really good to have a woman voice, right? It's not Layla, obviously. Yeah, for me, I gotta be mom and dad, right? But if you have a partner or if you don't, treat your upline as your partner and use your upline with your new recruit, because that new recruit only sees you as you alone. That's it, and only you can be that only voice in your new recruit's ear. So there's a couple things that I can do also that I do now that's changed, and I'm going to give credit to Shondell a lot, because we just started our Telegram for our licensing, and it's just freaking blowing up. If this is more so for the trainers in the room, if you have a team showing up like the Peters, the TS, right? I mean, if you create this Telegram, like Shondell said, it's the secret sauce. It's amazing. I'm excited to see what we can do, because now we have the referral system in place, right? You guys are learning referrals. Since Ratna taught it to me, then everybody knows how to field train now for the trainers in the room. We know the system is proven. Shaq's the best in the company, and he knows how to make money and keep his money. So somebody like Shondell, she gets up and some people are falling asleep. You got to make sure you're awake when the people are up here. I downloaded that, and 2 test passers came in, and we haven't had 2 test passers in a while. I'm looking at some people in here, and it's just like, dang, 5 test passers, 4 test passers, 3 test passers in a day, in a week, even in a month. It's just like, man, that's not a lot, but it is to us, relatively. We got 2 test passers in 24 hours because we downloaded that Telegram. And it took me about a week and a half to get that going, and everybody wanted to study their exams. Because it's not taking the exam and passing it the first time, it's also making sure that you just face that exam. Because what's a better story? When you go in and your new person comes in, do you want to actually be perfect and take the exam and pass it the first time? And tell everybody, oh, it was so easy for me to pass the first time? Or what's a better story? You go in and you say, oh, don't worry about it, Donna. You didn't pass the first shot? I took it 3 times. Don't worry, I'm still here. But Shaq failed his investment exam twice, passed it the 3rd time. He's making $450,000 a year. Do you think he really cares that he failed the first time? Not at all, right? So everybody who takes that exam, it's not the exam that you fail, it's just that you gave you the wrong exam. because you have the right answers, they just didn't match up with those questions you got, right? It's only because they gave you the wrong answers or the wrong exam that you got the answers mixed up. That's all it is, right? You knew the answers, they just weren't to the questions that you were given. Right? So when you think like that, it's like, oh wow, okay, cool. Let me take it again and make sure I get the right answers, right? With the right questions. So yeah, when people fail their exam, it's just a punch in the gut, right? But I mean, there's different levels to this business. So that's just one thing I want to say to recognize Sean Dow, because it helped us a lot. For real, girl. Thanks. So what do you guys want me to go over before Shaq walks in here? Because I can go over attendance a little bit. The gala is coming up, by the way, and even though we're not doing top turnout and it's not like a fast school thing, I guess I'll talk about this because I did ask Ratna, since all the leaders in the sense are in the room here, this is the 20 percenters. These are the 20 percenters that I feel like I'm talking to. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so we have how many? 43 registrations? How many registrations do we have at the high school?
I believe it's 40.
Okay, even though we're not doing top turnout, you guys should strive to have the most people at that gala. Because there's nothing like having your people see that we're real people and we're not just, just business, 150%. Some people are strong R's and they want to know we're like a family, right? I mean, some people are doing karaoke, Ryan is saying BYOB, and I'm like, you should probably tell me. Some people like that, right? I'm just joking. But when you have the gala like this, it's gonna build a lot of team camaraderie. And Rodman said we need 150 registrations to fill out the whole gala. Whether or not we fill it out, Shaq's still responsible for literally, I think 75 to 80 dishes of food. And you gotta treat it like this is your business, right? If this is your business in your mind, you're gonna invite a bunch of people to this gala. It's not it's not like, oh, it's gonna cost me $75. No, that 75, even though it's not a fast school, is still an investment in your business. You want your teammates to be there. You want them to come have fun with you. Because then when all the fun is done, and so I don't know what speakers are gonna be asked to speak, but I could just only imagine what kind of message is gonna be sent to yes, Thomas? What message is going to be sent to the whole crowd there, including us. I'm really excited for it. I got my whole dress. I'm excited, and my guys are excited. So, I mean, I think we have like 20 registrations in the pipeline right now from our team. But treat it like it's a faster school. I really would. Just make sure that you help the hierarchy get to 150 registrations. Shaq's not doing this for no reason. We know that our leaders don't just waste money like that, right? Am I right?
Right.
So we have 150 registrations we got to get to, and on that Telegram, if you're on Maximum Impact, you got to watch that registration number. You have to ask all of us, hey, where are you guys? When are you guys registering? This and that. No, we got to take responsibility for our business because that's the only way we're going to get the money that we want to make and the freedom we want to have, right? Cool?
Right.
All right, so if you don't know when the gala is, ask your apply. It's January 11th, though. I think it's 7 p.m. And it's all on, and if you don't have access to the flyer, just get the flyer. So, hey guys. All right. So every year, our team, I really suggest everybody do this with their team. Every year, our team, we break out into certain groups because, Howell is really independent outside of me. Shug's really independent outside of me now. So we don't really have to have a whole gathering like a Thanksgiving feast or anything. It would be great too, but not everybody's schedule is going to match up. But every year, I think this is going to be the 4th or 5th or 6th year, I lost track counting. We do a 5-hour goal setting session with. I don't think anybody in this room is where they want to be for the month. We're going to do it after the new year. So Darren Hardy has this 5-hour goal setting session packet. I forgot what it's called, but Gustavo started this trend years ago with our team, and so I took it and ran with it. But it's really helped the right people really focus the rest of the year. Because imagine being immersed for 5 hours straight with the people that show up. We start at 6:45, 7 a.m., by the way. We don't start in the middle of the day. Because the middle of the day is made for us to make calls, recruit by day, and then help and field train, like Josh said, by night, right? So we don't want to cut into our time. You just wait. It's not that you don't have time. You have to make the time. So wake up early just for one day. Because most people, they're going to get married for, a day or two, right? The honeymoon's going to last a week. They spend a whole year planning for that. This is our freedom we're talking about. So 5 hours is nothing, remember, right, guys?
Right.
So 5 hours straight is intense, seeing what your values are, sharing what each other's values are, making sure your top 10 goals are said out loud, written down, and then it helps you narrow it down, the 3 of the goals, and then work backwards in really intense detail. Like it really gets you thinking. It's a free packet you download on Darren Hardy's website. So I have it in my email somewhere, so I can forward it to Thomas, and he can forward it to you guys too. But everybody prints it out, and then we sit down and we plan out. So that's how when I looked at my trend track on POL, every single year, personally for me, I've grown. And our team has grown too, and I know Shondell, right? You too, right? But every year you do a goal setting somewhat, don't you? Yeah, so if I asked everybody who does a goal setting, I'm pretty sure only 2 or 3 people in this room would raise their hand. But that's the only reason why 2 or 3 people have grown year after year after year. So that's a trend that you gotta pay attention to, okay, guys? So I would really recommend that. So, all right, so who hit the board this week so far? Who got a recruit or an app? All right, so briefly before Shaq starts, I think he's walking in. Okay, never mind. All right, well, I wanted to recognize you guys. What's your name back there?
Julissa.
Julissa?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know Shondell and Josh always stand up, right? So let's recognize you. So whose team are you on?
Sophia.
Okay, great. And who's your recruit?
My recruit is it was one of my teachers, Miss Uyan, in my old school.
You recruited a teacher?
Yeah.
Whoa.
She wants us to get like the whole school board on it, so like we're working on it. But yeah.
Wow. How did you set up the appointment with her?
So I had called her and I was like, I need some help. Like, please help me. Like, can you just listen out to my mentor and she explain everything to you? And we went into the school. We talked to her, explained everything. She really liked the presentation that Sophia did. And she's like, okay, I want to know more. I want to get more into it.
Okay.
And then we had another meeting and then she's like, I think you should present this to some more people. So I went to talk to my principal in my old school. And we had a community meeting with some from the school board there. So we presented there and we planning to go back to the school and get more people. But
wow.
That's just my teacher.
Julissa?
Julissa.
Julissa. Everybody give it up for Julissa. Great job. I'm gonna bring up Shaq, so give it up for near-term $500,000 Ernest Shaq.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
So I got, unfortunately, I got a lot of messages last night and early this morning with a lot of people not being able to attend. So I figured, it would be a little bit smaller. And so I wanted to talk about a little bit different things. I still will go over some KT stuff and some of the slides that we do. But I wanted to talk a little bit about building your business today and the mindset of getting ready for the turn of the year and all those things. And, obviously you guys are the most important people in my organization, right? The Friday group is my focus going forward, my focus right now. And so you guys that have made the commitment to show up and come here, you're going to get everything that I have,
Yeah.
all right? All my knowledge, all my resources, all my experience. I got tons of experience in this business. I mean, I really don't turn it off ever. I'm always thinking about the business, growing the business. Absolutely nut about the business. Just like you, extremely frustrated, want to grow, want to reflect on what we did in 2019, but ready to grow by leaps and bounds in 2020. Yeah. So, today will be, like I said, a little bit of technical training, but more mindset today and building the business. I'm going to revisit probably if you want to, grow your business and build a business and have passive income and all the sexy things, right? Like, I went to I was in Vegas. I went to Vegas with my wife just for the weekend on Thursday. And we did all the shows and we stayed at the Cosmopolitan. And I went to the UFC fight, which I've never been to a UFC fight on Saturday night. Sitting pretty close and got to see it, whatever. I was standing right behind like the women's soccer team and I guess they just won. What did they just win? I don't know, but they were there and the cameras were following them. And, I made 6,000 when I was gone for 4 days. So that was pretty cool too, right? I mean, I was, in a different time zone and, texting people and calling people for a minute while I was walking between shows and casinos. And, I made 6,000, lost probably 10,000. I maybe lost a couple $100. I don't have the stomach for gambling as much. Peter, you'd be very disappointed in me. I'm a wuss now. I feel really terrible. Like I can't even look at you in the eye. I just don't feel worthy anymore. I'm losing a hand and start crying. That's what 3 kids would do to you. Somebody was asking how was it? I was like, you're old when your feet hurt.
Oh my God.
Well, I said, all right, let's dress up and go out. I was like, I'm wearing sneakers, man. My feet hurt. It's too much walking, man. My feet are freaking hurting. They're swollen. I'm like, 3, man. What's going on here? But anyways, it was a great time. Got to eat, best restaurants and see all the shows and the surf shows and the comedy shows and Hypnotist. I saw Bill Bellamy. I know a lot of you guys don't know who he is. He was on MTV a long time ago. He was practicing some of his material for a Netflix show that he was doing, and it was just a riot. It's so funny. Small crowd. So it was cool. It was cool to take my wife for a couple days and make money passively, and then come back and be energized and ready to go. So anyways, all right, if you want to pull up the presentation first, and we'll go through. So we're going to make a couple adjustments to our presentation. We're going to add a slide into the presentation for interviews as well as PTs. Chandel has already used this slide, and a couple other people have used it as well. It comes from Hector Lamarck, and I kind of as we dial in our presentation, right, we're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. We'll constantly make adjustments depending on which direction we're moving in. And your ability to get really experienced and get really good presenting, okay? And the presenting is game time. Always remember that. Everything about the presentation, Kevin, that's the chess match, right? That's where you're moving pieces on the board. That's where you're advancing. That's where you're withdrawing. That's when you're asking questions. That's when you're making certain statements. That's when you're whispering. That's when you're challenging. That's when you're getting commitments. That's the most fun part of the business. Now, it's in the beginning, it gets people extremely nervous. But when you can, master the presentation, the business gets really fun, okay? So we'll go over 2 slides today. One that's a staple in our site. We won't go over this one first. We'll go over the wheel first, and then we'll go over the summary. So, just wanted to highlight this, okay? Just so I go over this during my presentation a lot. You got to know, I'm not saying you have to say everything that I say right now, okay? I will work on this. Chandel will help me today. I'll work on coming up with the script on the PowerPoint so you can read through it, okay? Because that's part of the reason why I want to go through this today, so I can start adding the word for word script on the PowerPoint, on the notes, okay? So, Ruby, you know how to explain this in general? You understand how this works?
Well, usually I explain what the different companies that we work with. I ask them if they know any of these companies.
Okay. Great. Let's stop right there. So when we bring the slide up, that's the first thing you always want to say. You never want to start making statements. If you just start talking, always remember, okay, write this down. People hate know-it-alls. People that are smart and they always inundate you with knowledge are annoying. I hate people like that. Okay, and I'm not trying to be cute or funny. I think I'm above average intelligence. Okay, on almost everything. And what I mean by that is like, if there's 50%, I know a little more than 50%, probably on most things. Okay. Now, if I meet somebody that is really knowledgeable, they'll whip my butt. You know, they know a lot more than me. But I feel like, yeah, I probably know more. I went to college. I have a couple degrees. I'm well read. I try to get a lot of information about meaningless stuff. Okay, so I know stuff. But it's still annoying. Okay, nobody likes to be around people like that. Those people are pushers. Okay, know-it-alls push people away. People that are always, they do it subconsciously. They always talk about all the stupid stuff that they know and how you don't know anything. It is one of the most repulsive character traits you could ever have. Okay? So before you can present most of the stuff, you have to, that's a great question, right? What'd you say? Are you familiar with any of these companies? Let them say it. Right? That's how you lead in. Hey, have you heard of any of these companies? Are you familiar with any of these companies? And then they may say, sure, I've heard of some of these. Even if they haven't, they're gonna be like, well, because the slide looks cool, right? And it looks powerful. Okay, but this is good. Then what else do you say?
Oh, well, depending on their answer, if they say yes, well, which one in companies is it?
So say I say AIG.
Okay, well, how do you know them? Have you done this company? And then you let go from there.
Okay. And then you go in and what if you had to say like 2 or 3 points on this slide? What are your main bullet points on the slide? If everybody, I want you to write this down. This, like I said, it's a smaller group. I want this to be a little bit more interactive. Write down your bullet points on this slide. Okay, always remember, most of your presentation is designed to answer questions before they come up, or give relevant information because they have a question that's going to come up, or it'll come up in the future. So what questions are we trying to answer, right? What would you write down, Debbie? Give me one of your points.
I said, work with American funds and we're geared more towards working with you as opposed to we were working with another company where our interest would lie with them. So do you see why, well, we use American funds because
Okay. Okay, it's okay. Wrong answer. That's all right. It's gonna sound funny either way. No, I'm just kidding. But I think it'll make more sense when I go over my point. Ruby, what'd you write?
Well, we're not an insurance company.
Okay, that's great. That's a great point, right? We do a lot of things. Okay, that's good. There's a lot of moving parts here. There are a lot of different services here. Okay. What else? Hi, what did you write? Did you write something different?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay. Quality products, that's good too. Robert.
These companies come up with proprietary products that can only be utilized.
Okay, that's good. What else? What'd you write?
One-stop shop, demand power and distribution, Walmart of financial services.
Okay. I'm looking for something different. That's right as well. What'd you write?
Nothing that already has been said, Andre.
How we get paid.
Yeah.
You gotta write how we get paid. They wanna know how you get paid, right? And look, clients are very, 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 very skeptical. Very skeptical. Okay, that's not a negative statement, it's just reality, okay? It's just reality. So they're wondering, why are you doing this? How can you do this? How can you not charge? How are you different? How do you get paid? How did the companies get paid? Why would they want to do this? Why would they sit down with me? Okay, listen. Most people feel, okay, it is in their DNA and their destiny and their future to be broke. Their hang-ups with money are so bad. And these are people that are educated. These are people that are religious. These are people that are old. These are people that they've been worked for 20 years, but their financial programming is so bad. So we have to unwrap all of that, okay? Now, we can't do that all in one presentation, okay? But we can explain a couple different things. And through our story, we can start to drop the seeds. Well, this is how it works. Because we're not there, we're there to make money. We're there to do business. We're there to develop a client. There isn't something for it. There is something in it for us and for them and for the company. And that's what we're going to explain a little bit, right? So, right, little history. Just want you guys to understand this. I know you guys do understand this, okay? This is not something I want to explain to all my clients. Okay, but like Ruby said, we're not just an insurance company, okay? And the only product that we have that is proprietary, Robert, that only is an internal product is our insurance. Everything else, we partner with different companies, okay? So for you guys are new, okay? And, you know, there's some new people in here. It's awesome to see some new people in here. You know, elephant in the room, right? People, they try to crap on Primerica. They try to say all these things about Primerica, right? Primerica this, Primerica that, Primerica this. Well, you know, look, I'm not saying people could have a bad experience in an office, right? Like, you know, we always use that example of McDonald's, right? You can go to McDonald's. Yeah. And so the other day, I forgot who I was telling this to. I think I was talking to somebody on the phone. The other day, the drive-through, my kids love McDonald's, right? Because they want the toys, and it's Barbie or Peppa Pig or whatever the hell it is, Toy Story. And so, and I like McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's, I'll literally get sick, but I love McDonald's too. I love the smell of McDonald's. I don't eat it, but I'll smell it. So the drive-through for McDonald's was super long. So I actually went into a McDonald's.
Oh my God.
Don't do it. That's a whole different country.
Yeah.
Okay? So I was like, all right, I'm gonna take the kids in. We're gonna go into McDonald's. Okay? What a dumb idea. I should never stay in your car, go to the drive-thru. Okay? I went to McDonald's. Okay? I didn't know what I saw. Okay? And then this is the worst part about it. I see somebody in front of me. Okay? And the guy at McDonald's, he just was not like, he couldn't take orders very fast. Okay? And some dude, Alex, bought one person $60 worth of McDonald's.
Oh my God.
He gave, I think, like $80 and got change. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? Right? I was like, who does this? I mean, like a 24 nuggets, this, that. I mean, this guy had a grocery bag of McDonald's food, like 3 of them. And I was like, man, I was in there for half an hour. It was the worst experience in my life.
Oh my God.
Right? Now, most McDonald's, right, if you're driving, right, I do some road trips, we'll drive to Michigan or something, we'll stop at McDonald's on the way. It's a much better experience, okay? That's true, okay? Some people could have a bad experience with an agent in Primerica, right? I'm not saying I've handled every single thing right. You know, I might have said something and, you know, I might have said something that offended somebody. I might have snapped at somebody. I might not, you know, look, I'm human. I make mistakes, okay? If somebody wanted to go on the internet and say something about an office, it might be true. I've been to stupid ass Primerica offices, okay? Where I'm like, ugh, I would not do that. Now, I try to run a prize outfit, and we try to do the best we can and be extremely professional and pleasant and client-oriented. and obviously highest standard of ethics. But, if somebody has a bad experience, they have a bad experience. There's nothing that we can do about that, okay? But you can't not say anything about our compensation.
Yeah.
About our company, our products, okay? One, we only have one product. It's insurance. And our insurance, we're the #1 term insurance provider in the country. We're rated A+ across every single thing. We're one of the fastest growing insurance companies. Our company purchased Milico, which was an insurance company, because when I first started, we had multiple insurance companies. But we wanted to consolidate so we could be extremely consistent, right? Because different companies pay, they have different clauses. And that company was 100 years old. 100 years old. And then all the other companies, right? And who's done an investment application? Okay, Joel, when you got the client, you sit down with me. You're doing my IRA. Who do I write the check to? Right? Primerica doesn't even see it. It goes directly to American funds. I don't even write the check to Joel. I don't write it to America. I don't write it to Weston office. Nothing. It goes to American funds. That is what the check goes to. We don't even see the money. Now, American funds pays us. Okay? And if they went directly to American funds or any other brokerage, it'd be the same exact fees. Okay? Many times it'd be less. So just for your understanding, so you understand how our business model works. Now, why did we partner up with these companies? Because a lot of these things and services and products that we offer, Therese, we did not offer when I first started. Okay? We're including more and more stuff, okay? And sometimes we're taking away certain products. Why are we adding this?
Just provides more value to the client.
You said it, right? The reason why I asked you, it's a one-stop, right? If enough of our clients are asking about the same thing, we want to be ahead of it.
Yeah.
We want to provide more value. We'd like to, okay, hey, look, we want to provide everything under the sun financially that fits into our wheelhouse that we feel we can add that is a good value. Okay? That's a good value for the client. So, when we partner up with the companies, right? Obviously, we make sure the company is reputable. Okay? We're going to pick companies that have been around, that are long-standing, that have good, goodwill in the community, in the financial community. So we vet the companies tremendously. Okay. 2, we want to make sure they can support us. Okay. We are so large and we have so many agents and we do so much business, they have to be able to support us. Right? Because many of the companies, they just can't handle it. Right? Now, before we take them on, right, we pilot these companies, usually 6 months or 12 months. We'll use it in targeted areas. Okay, hey, the state of Virginia is going to pilot this program. And then they'll see and they'll do a test run on it. Okay? So, 1, we prove the legitimacy of the company. And legitimacy is not just, is it a legitimate company? Like, can they handle us? But also, we tailor the product for our clients' needs. Okay, some of these companies, they're expensive. So we make them reduce their fees. We eliminate some of the additional charges. So before, when Bright House comes to us and say, hey, we want you to sell our annuities, we say, okay, well, let's take a look at your annuity. Let's reduce some of your account minimums. Oh, you have a $100,000 account minimum? No, we're going to reduce that to $10,000. And we'll come up with a compromise. Oh, this is the fees? We're going to reduce that. And so like Robert said, some of these products, you can't even get them anywhere else. Right? I don't know if anybody shops at certain things like Target or Walmart, right? I'm sure everybody shops at some of these.
Yes.
Or Costco, right? Or Sam's Club. Some of these big retailers. Have you ever noticed sometimes you can get certain products there, you can't find them anywhere else?
Yep.
Right? Whether it's a certain size. Oh yeah, we have a 30 pack.
We have a 2-for-1. You have certain deals that you get at these companies because they have whatever, the wherewithal, the distribution, the marketing, the brand name, the foot traffic coming in where they can offer a certain product. So some of the MetLife products, the Bright House products, you can only get through us. You can't, if you wanted it there, you couldn't even get it. We had a program called Prime Elite 4. And now annuity companies have changed a lot. But before, about 10 years ago, they were a lot more expensive and they had crazy account minimums. The Prime Elite 4 was rated one of the best annuities on the market. And the only way you could get it is through Primerica Rep. The only way. Couldn't even get it through MetLife at the time, who MetLife is now Bright House. Okay. So that's what happens when we bring these companies on as partners. Now, why do the company want us to market? Why do these companies want us to market their products? Because this is a market they really don't market to, right? Middle income, lower middle income. We have home delivery. We're a one-stop shop. We already have the client. And so if it fits in and they can just worry about training us on the benefits, the features of the product, then we can offer the product to our client. So they have access to a whole different client base. Okay. Why do our clients want these products? Because they need help financially. And some of these products are really good for them. And if they can deal with an agent that comes to their home and sits down with them and show them their program in its entirety and how these products fit in, that's a win for them. So these companies, they pay us directly, so you don't have to. Our clients like this because they get access to the best products and services from the best companies without any brokerage fees, with low or no account minimums. And we don't have to charge our clients $500 to $2,500. So it's a win for the client, win for these companies, a win for us, right? And like I said, I'm going to get all the words out today. I'll get it to Shondell tonight, and I'll work on that all day, and then we'll update the PowerPoint. But I want to give you an understanding of how this works, right? All for what? Providing more value to our clients, right? Like, and look, one thing I would do, okay, especially if you're at the kitchen table a lot, you can start talking about some of these things, right? You can just throw it out there. Hey, what do? We do wills, or we do this, or so they can start. The wheels can start turning. All right. Now, so let's go to the next slide. So we're gonna implement the before and after. I know Shondell uses this. I caught her using it the other day. You guys saw that sneaky little rat. He's an FBI informant. Watch out! Don't tell him that. Okay. Other people use it as well. So, my job is not to, I want you to be fearful of me. I always ask him, tell me about this, tell me about that. So, I feel the summary of what we do because I find a lot of clients, they really don't understand what we do. Okay. So before, what happens, Shondell, is I used to show the FNA, right? And I still do show the FNA, but I think summarizing it is important. I just do because clients, when you make certain statements, you ask certain questions, you get confirmation that they have processed what you've said. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so showing the FNA, telling them financial services, that all sounds great. But let me actually show you a client before we met them, after we met them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so we will train on this. We will also get this out as well. This will be a new slide in our presentation. I think you use it in the interview as well, so KT. This is a client. We changed their name, right? Client Bob and Susan Smith, ages 35 and 33 with 2 children. Okay. Right there, it puts a visual in.
right? So it's a visual for the client, oh, that's me. Right, or I'd like to be there one day, or, you know, I have one child, or three, you know, and get a point. So Bob and Susan, okay, I love this, okay? They had $165,000 on their mortgage, $13,000, so $178,000 of debt. And once we showed them their plan in writing, they'd be paid off in 58 years. Mr. and Mrs. Client, 58 years is never. Right. Yeah. What goes through a head when they see that? Okay. Huh? That's a long time. What goes through their head? Huh?
That's me.
That's me. I wish that was me. 165,000?
Yeah.
That's a couple payments.
Oh, man.
I'd streak this parking lot of my mortgage. You see a brown ass running.
Oh, man.
Put a zero on that thing, man.
Oh, my God.
I got excited. Where the hell do they live? All right, Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
Yeah, we have an acre of snow. That's what we have. But yes, you're right, forever, for 58 years, and this is clients, man. They're aimlessly paying debt. They have no idea when they're gonna be paid off. Okay? So 178,000, 58 years, you know, will they ever pay off their debt? How long will they be in debt? Let them say it, right? You're not, see, what are you doing? You're not attacking them directly, but you probably are talking to them indirectly. That we show them a program, okay, to pay off their debt without using any extra money. Zero extra payment, and they'll be debt-free at 55. Okay. Now, you should, right, use the FNA, learn how the FNA works. I'm not going to go through that with you today, right? Read all of Dave Ramsey's books. You'll see all of these theories, and not theories, okay? Practical application of debt stacking, debt snowballing, consolidation, all these things, okay? Strategies on how to pay off your debt. Okay, this family had $150,000 of coverage on the husband, $150,000 on the wife, nothing on the children. They're paying $300 a month. We gave them coverage, $300,000 on the husband, $300,000 on the wife, $600,000 total, $25,000 on each of the children. For $123, we saved them $175 a month. Okay, so what have you said now? We're saving you money, we're giving you more value, right? So we showed you how to get out of debt significantly quicker. You never would have gotten out of debt. Now we're reducing costs, we're finding money, and we're giving you more value. Read our group news, right? Read our Telegram, sorry. I mean, 175, we save tons of clients $150 a month. Is that a lot of money? 170, what is that? That's like $2,000 a year.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
$2,000 a year, and gave them twice the coverage, more than twice the coverage. They had no will, right? I like saying this to clients, and I do this when I go through the will. So have you ever met anybody that didn't have a will and something happened? Just say it. Just throw it out there. You ever met anybody didn't have a will, something happened? I just want you to understand. Something happens, a client doesn't have a will, disaster. Okay, that is one of the most problematic things in the world. People don't have a will. Okay, because we have access to a law firm and attorneys, we can provide a will. I say $55, because I don't know how much does it actually cost anybody now?
It's 35.
They get
For the
whole
first
will?
month, and then they can cancel.
Okay, and they get the whole will?
Mhm.
Okay, so you can say $35. I say 55 because I don't know, you're based on the documents and the spouse. I'll get that exact number. Thomas says 35, but it's, you say $100, okay? I mean, it's not gonna be thousands of dollars to get a will, right? I don't really talk about the actual services of, the legal, I just talk about the will, okay? This is just about providing value. This is just about get them thinking, right? Auto and home insurance, and this is something that you guys need to do, okay? For you, because it's a really good story, right? Because if you can save money on your auto and home and you say, hey, I saved $1,100 a year, I saved personally $1,500 a year, I saved $2,000 a year, right? That just sounds really good. It's a testimony, right? Say, hey, look, we use a company, Answer Financial, right? We shop out the insurance and we make sure that people are not overpaying. That's all you said. We make sure people are not overpaying. In this example, they were paying $243 now, so we saved them $65 a month. Yeah, I know there are a lot of commercials out there. Well, I saved $1,500 a year with Geico. Great, what'd you do with the money? I don't know. Well, then you didn't save it, right? And they just, I don't know if anybody's ever seen these commercials. They're a couple years old, but they literally make fun of this too, right? Like, remember the State Farm commercials? They're like, yeah, we saved money. What'd you do with your money? And the guy literally was like, I bought a Falcon. And he's walking around. That's how stupid people are. Can you believe that? You remember that commercial? He's walking around the Falcon like on his thing, and he's just like, that when people save money and they reduce their cost, they blow the money so quick, man. And they get in a worse spot than before. Okay? Look, you can, if you have things you want to spend money on, do it. Okay? If you waste money though, I'm telling you, I'm not talking to our client, I'm talking to you. If you're a waster of money, you're dead. You are dead. Okay? If you want to spend. Okay, but be thrifty, be a coupon shopper, look for deals, do certain things, spend, but you gotta be so freaking tight with your money, okay? And you definitely cannot waste paying fees, tons of interest, all this stuff, that will kill you financially, kill you. So, and this has to be a philosophy and a way of life that you are, okay? Bob and Susan had $20,000 in an IRA at the bank, earning 3%. Right now, one thing that I've been doing on some of my appointments, okay, when I go through the $200 a month slide, just because I feel like I'm not getting as much traction to you in terms of learning about the client. Remember, everything's about playing chess, right? Everything's about uncovering certain information, right? Getting more information from the client. So say, Tia, Peter, I do the waste, right? Is $200 a month a lot of money? And I'll ask, hey, when people want to save money, where do they put it? The bank. Like, and I'll ask them, do you put any money? Do you save money in the bank? What are you getting? What interest? Because I want to just see, right? I want to see if they know. I want to see if they're lying. I want to see if they do save money. I want to do save, well, not really. I mean, whatever goes in goes out. Okay, right? I just want to hear where I am in the presentation, and I might ask, right? So, but Bob and Susan had $20,000 in an IRA at the bank, earning 3%, and they were contributing $100 a month. What they would have at age 67 would be $116,000 in their retirement account. Okay, we were able to roll that over into mutual funds, getting a higher rate of return, right? We increased their contributions to $300. Why? Because we saved them money, right? So instead of letting the client just blow the money, right? We take some of that money and we reinvest it into their program. To $300 a month, and accumulated savings at 9% at age 67 is $1 million. So the client goes from 116 to over $1 million. So what have we done for this family?
We've given them more for less. And we made a significant impact over time, but especially at retirement. And all we did was rearrange their finances. We didn't ask this client to spend any more money. We just rearranged. It's a really good word, rearrange, right? We just rearranged their current finances and gave them more value. And then, there's some closing questions that we can ask, and you gotta be careful with these closing questions, okay? It depends on the client, okay? I think it's gonna be appropriate for most of our clients, but you can say, hey, if we could take a family from A to B, or how many families wanna go from A to B? And if we could take them from here to here, how do you think they feel about us? Right? This is dropping seeds about recruiting, right? This is dropping seeds on, hey, I see what you do. I could get behind this. I think there's a need for this. I would not feel bad about this. There's many businesses, the business is great, but they have no regard for the consumer. Okay, those conversations are not in. Hey, can we sell this to the client? Does the client need it? I don't know. Can we sell it? What's the maximum we could charge the client? Where we still could sell enough product to break even or to make money. These are the questions companies are asking. We don't ask those questions. Just so you understand, our company, because I've been on some pilots from the company, right? Whether it be loan programs or certain programs, you know what they ask us? They ask us to pilot it, and it's always with the clients. The clients are the end game, right? We work backwards. We say, okay, does it make sense for them? And then we look on how it makes sense for us. So, and then you could also throw, hey, if you knew people in A that could potentially be in B, would you want to share this information with them? Would you feel obligated to tell them? Right? And you just throw it out there another way. So these are the two slides that I wanted to cover. This is a new slide that we'll add in right after the F&A or the F&A overview, but probably right before the house, where we'll go through this and add it in, and then we'll have the words for it as well. Any questions about any of this stuff? I know you guys have probably seen this before. We had it in there, we took it out. Now we'll put it back in there because I feel like number one, we need to offer more products, okay? You cannot just sell, you can't be a one-trick pony, all right? You need to do more per client, and you need to offer multiple products, whether it's IRAs, rollovers, home security, wills. The more products you have, obviously, the more money you make. It's better for the client, and two, it protects your business, all right? And I don't feel like some parts in our presentation, they just don't, it's extremely one-dimensional, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't say it's wrong, but we can add this. All right. All right. Any other questions about that? All right. Let me okay, let's go to the next part. All right. So I was talking to someone yesterday, and anybody ever been a part of, who's been part of organizations, anything consistently, whether it's sports, fraternal or sorority organizations, or act clubs, whatever it is, right? Anybody? Val, what'd you do?
Basketball.
Whoa. Damn, what'd you say?
Varsity too, by the way.
Okay, I didn't say that. I was asking.
Varsity, by the way.
Okay. Young velocity. What'd you say, basketball? Volleyball, so, okay. Were you on any really good teams?
What do you mean?
Like, did you guys do well?
Yeah, we won the all in all.
Okay, were you on any really bad teams?
Yes. Our swimming teams. not great at first.
Okay, so were you ever on a sport, in the same sport, where you were really good, your team was really good, and then the same exact sport and your team was really bad? Like maybe in a different year? What sport?
It was basketball.
Okay, so you've been on a really good basketball team and then a really bad basketball team. Okay, give me some of the differences. Do you know? Like, I mean, I know I'm calling you out just on the spot, so you haven't had time to think about this, but
The players just didn't have the skill set.
Okay.
There was the leadership.
okay,
No, like, motivation to become better. Stuff like that. The coach was also different.
So I've been part of a lot of really bad teams. Yeah, a lot. I mean, many are really, and I've been part of a few really good teams. Okay. You know, when I was younger playing basketball, I could always dribble. So dribblers always got picked early because you need a point guard, and usually kids, when they're younger, they can't dribble the ball. Okay, so at least if you dribble, you have a shot of getting the ball to the other side of the court. All right, I've been playing rec basketball since I was 8 or 9 years old, and you know, so I could always dribble, so they would always pick me. So the people that have the first pick are always the worst teams. Okay, so there was like a period in basketball, Donald, where I didn't win a game, like for 3 years. Like we were 0-8, 0-10, 0-10 for 3 years, and then when I got to I think 13 and 14, I got picked up on a team and we won the league. And maybe we didn't win the league. We won the regular season. We may have lost in the playoffs, but we lost one game. And during the regular season, we were undefeated. And if I had to describe one word to describe and I didn't know, I just thought you lost. I just thought that's what it was. In basketball, you lose. Okay, and I wasn't old enough or coherent enough or aware enough to understand, because in soccer, I always played for really good teams. Always. I always played for really good teams. But in many of my other sports that I played, they were really bad. And I don't say always played for really good teams. There were a few soccer teams I played really, really bad. But most of them were good. But if I could give one word, it was chaos.
Chaos.
Just the losing teams that I played for were extremely chaotic. Okay, whether it was how they were organized, how they were coached, how we were talked to, how we were trained, how our practices went, our schedule, just everything from the volunteers, from the parents. Every single thing about it was chaotic. And then when I got drafted to like a real team, and this is not AAU. This is not select. This is rec. Okay? This is everybody gets to play 1 quarter. This is not like same matching shoes, and you know, it's not select. I had friends that played select. That's a whole different level. This is house league. But Thomas, I'm talking about the parents and the orange slices. Everything was organized. I mean it. The volunteering. Our good team had a stat keeper. They had somebody keeping the stats. So like when we go back to practice, they'd be like, you did this, you did this. This is how many offensive rebounds. Like, what the hell? Where are we? This is rec league. But we had a stat keeper that kept the stats for the entire week. Our coaches, right, in the rec league that we went undefeated, they scouted the other team. They came back, Rod, and they're like, yeah, we saw them play. I'm like, what the hell? Like, what are we doing here? But it was awesome because we won. And we were prepared. And we would go in confidently like, yo, we're going to beat this team. Why? Because we're freaking organized. We got the stats. We got the uniforms. We got the orange slices on top. They scouted the team. We know we have. Now, I don't know if anybody's gone against the press. Basketball is the worst in the world. I hate that. Okay, you go against athletic teams that can press, and I was always the point guard. I mean, I literally cried during the game. That's how much I hated it. I remember one guy got me. I mean, at half court twice in a row. Okay, and the second time, and this is like right in the game. I get right first couple plays. I get in the game. I mean, he picks me it's just me and him, and he picks me twice right in the back court. Okay? This guy is bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic than I am. And on the second one, right, I'm walking back, and he just passed me on the back and run back. I almost cried. I was like, I gotta take time. I mean, he's still going. Take me out. I didn't want to play. Like, he just went, and I was like, oh God, this is gonna be a long night. I was like, hey, switch. Like, it was so bad. But then, you know, and I'm on the worst team in the league at that point. We're 0-8 or whatever it is, right? But then when we got like older, and my team said, oh, they're a press, we're gonna push the ball. They're a zone, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, right? We're gonna push before so they can't set up the zone or whatever it is. Right, you stand right here, you stand right here, we're gonna pass, you always know, look there, they're not, and we will always win. And so, like, these things are not accidents, man. And for you, right, and I'm gonna talk about our business, and our business is not easy, this is a hard business. And it's gonna take everything you have to do well, okay? But this is not, you know, I'm not gonna talk to my brother and say, hey man, you can climb the corporate ladder here and you work, and go back to school and feed you all that bullshit. Okay? Because something's gonna happen later on and you're gonna get a tattoo. You're gonna get screwed. Okay? That's why we're in here. This is the entrepreneur's life. It takes a lot of hard work, but man, what are you fighting for? Your freedom.
Yeah.
Always remember that. You know, whenever I look at the turn of the year, it's always like, all right, if I continue to pay the price, I'm gonna move up. And moving up for me, Rod, means more financial freedom, more success, more money, more influence on my team, my awesome team, making more money. Not in a greedy way, but allowing you to have the freedom and options and choices that you can have. That's what you're fighting for.
Mm-hmm.
And the first step, okay, in this business, you gotta, you know, with the turn of the year, you gotta eliminate all the chaos from your life. Okay? Nobody wants to be recruited into chaos. Chaos does not win. On disorganization and a mess, you're gonna be the 0-8 team. Okay? That's it, period. You guys are my most precious group. I can talk to you. This is a locker room. You know, you gotta get your finances in order, you gotta get your personal life in order, you gotta get your, I don't care what it is, okay? You got substance abuse problems, freaking get it fixed. I'm serious. You got, you know, too much drama in your life, eliminate it. You can't recruit people into that.
Yeah.
And this is not a fake it. Now, fake it till you make it is what? You know what that means? What does that mean?
Stuff is going bad in your life. Show up with a smile on your face and a good attitude.
That's what fake it till you. Fake it till you make it does not mean spend money you don't have. Okay? Fake it till you make it doesn't mean being an actor and living a double life. Fake it till you make it is have a good attitude, okay? But don't throw bombs in your own home, in your own personal life. Don't make bad decisions. This is why I tell people all the time. I was telling somebody the other day, I read this the other day, or I heard it, I don't remember what I said. It's so true. It said, successful people overcome obstacles. Unsuccessful people create their own. Okay? You're going to have obstacles. Don't create them. Eliminate all the chaos from your life. It's okay, man. It's okay to you know, you don't have to, you know, have this crazy, elaborate, chaotic life, okay? Make better decisions, eliminate it, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that, okay? So, you know, I tell this story all the time, right? I was sitting down with, in Florida, I shared an office with Jerry and Rhonda Byer, who make over, I think, $1.5 million a year. They've been making $1 million a year now, probably for almost 30 years. Okay? 30 years. Okay, this is one of the wealthiest families, wealthiest couples in Primerica, okay? I'm not just talking about their income, but how much money they have, okay? They've been on the board of a company that took a company public, And so they were sitting out. Omar Oropesa, who's $1 million earner, lived in Florida, and he's a good buddy of mine, right? So we'd always like watch football together. He'd come over to my house. He'd just hang with me, and so he drove by the office, and this guy's way more successful than I am. But at that time, I think he was making like 700,000 or 800,000. Okay, now he's at like whatever 1.2, 1.3 million. But at that time, he was at 700,000, 800,000, and we were all, me and Ryan and Jerry were in the office, and Omar and I were just talking, and it was just a couple of us, right? And he asked Jerry, and said, hey, what do I gotta do? I wanna get over $1 million, I wanna get my income up, I wanna do this, I wanna do that. He said all this thing. Jerry just said to him, and I'll never forget this, it was invaluable, Peter. He goes, it's all about width. And then he just walked away.
It's all about what?
Width. It's all about width. It's all about width. And I remember Rhonda training at a company event, and she said, this business is very simple. You recruit and train, get people to district leader direct to you, and keep going till you want your income to stop, and if you're at a good level. So that's all our business is recruit and train. Recruit and train to district leader. You want to go 5 wide, 10 wide, 15 wide, 20 wide, 30 wide, 40 wide. You go as wide as you want. You have the life you want. When you can stop when you want to stop. You want to stop at 3 wide, you can stop. You want to stop at 10 wide, you can stop. You want to stop at 20 wide, you can stop. But everything you do, okay, now we're not talking about products, even though we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute as we go through some of these slides. We're not talking about your licensing. Licensing is very important. We're talking about the architecture of your base shop and building a business. It's all about width. All about width, right? In this book, Be Obsessed or Be Average, right? By Grant Cardone. Chapter 10. And I love this because, as you get a little bit older in this business, you can get a little soft, right? Now, what could turn you soft? One, you can get a little cool, right? Cool people don't win in Primerica, always remember that. They don't. Okay, you may not want to offend anybody. Maybe negative people, they sour you a little bit, right? You have a bad experience with somebody quits, it hurts. Somebody went, it's fine if I hire Josh and quits within an hour, right? Then that's not good, but maybe he stayed around for 5-6 months, right? You guys prayed together. We prayed together. Good. Right? You understand, man. We exchanged vows.
Oh my God.
We said hallelujah. And they quit. It happens, man. Right? But you let it mess with you. Right? You let how other people act about your business, about your opportunity, about your goals, your vision, and that changes you. This is on my work with my children all the time, man. My kids are going through it, right? Now, look, this is the locker room, right? We can talk. I to do something at my son's school the other week. My son is 9. Okay, my son is 9. I'm in Loudoun County, and I'm in a very, very diverse area. Okay, very diverse area. My neighborhood, the bus stop, it looks like the United Nations. Okay? And so I had to go up on and announce myself to the school, right? You're on a little video, and I was the volunteer for the day, and they asked a dad to come in one day a year each dad, so there's another dad just helping students out and patrolling the school and doing all that stuff. It's a good program called Watchdog Dads, right? I don't know if anybody's heard of it. It's probably been around for a long time. But so I was like, all right, I'm gonna introduce myself, and my son's like, okay, hey, I want you to say this. I was like, say what? He's like, say Issa's dad. I was like, okay, that's fine. Oh, yeah, I can say that. But then he said it a couple other times, right? He said it 2 more times.
Mhm.
And I go, why do you keep saying Issa's dad? And I thought about it. So, you don't want me to say Mr. Islam. Think about that. My son's 9 years old. I didn't even think he knew about stuff like this. I'm not saying he was embarrassed. I don't know. But it came in his head. He's 9. And I go, wait. And then so I asked him, I said, okay, why? I'm okay, just tell me. Is it because you? That's fine if it's you. But is it because other people are making you feel a certain way? And I'm a kid. I grew up in America. I'm from the 80s, okay? Like, I get it. I was born here. I grew up here. I totally get peer pressure more than anybody. They're just as much as anybody, right? So I get it. I totally get it. My mom goes, well, Mom! I was super embarrassed with my parents, right? Super embarrassed. Mom, don't dress like that to pick me up. All that. I totally get it. So I was like, all right. I never thought I'd be that guy. I never thought that would be me. I'm like, no, I'm the coolest dad in this school. Okay? Like, you should be proud of me, man. I'm a gangster, man. Like, you got me. You got street cred. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, he was embarrassed of me. Dad, see, he says dad. I'm working on my kids about, okay, what do you want to do? And just to let you know, like, it's funny. This stuff starts very young. About outside influences changing the way you are about you. One thing my parents always taught me, man, that's why I love my parents, man. About being cool, right? People who care what other people think, that's what we called posers back in the day. That's what we call those people. You're a poser. People who really are cool, they don't care about what other people think. Now, I'm not saying they're like the craziest, they have no regard. No. But we're trendsetters, man. Right? I love these meetings. I love these trainings. I love self-improvement. I love sales. I love marketing. I love recruiting. I love closing. I love the audios. I love everything that we do. I love it. I love it. I don't like it. I freaking love it. I'm not embarrassed of the audios that we play. No. Turn it up. I'm not embarrassed that we read books and I don't know certain things about what's going on in the world. I don't think that, not saying I'm proud to be ignorant, but I love that I'm in a bubble. And you gotta be secure in that. You gotta be confident in your mission this year, what you're trying to do. And if it offends a few people, so be it, man, right? My son is extremely gifted in school. Very gifted. He got my wife's brain. He got his mom's brain. I'm very smart, but my wife is smart on a whole nother level. Different universe of smart. My son, when he started getting grades in 2nd grade, he'd come off the bus. Oh man, you get an A. Oh man, I didn't miss a question. And then after a while, he still get A's, got a perfect score, but he wouldn't say anything because his friends that came off the bus, they wouldn't get good grades. And so he didn't want to make them feel bad. And I'd say, hey, listen, I get it, and I love that you're thinking like that, but shine your light bright, man. Don't lower your standard. Just because they're getting B's, you don't get B's. But that's what people do. You're going to be broke? I'm going to be broke with you. You got money problems? Let's talk about them so I can have them too.
Oh, no.
No. Good or bad, most of the things that I have personally, okay, good or bad, a lot of good. But whatever I have that is good and positive, I had to work really hard for. right? I don't have a good marriage. We worked on that. Okay? It's not easy to live with another person. It's not, okay? After 10 years and keep the fire and keep the loyalty and keep the love and all those things, that's extremely difficult. Now, I love my wife more than anything in the world. And I'm super blessed. But it's a lot of work on her end and my end. And it's harder for her because I'm a lunatic. So every single thing, right? This business is going to be the same way. Man, who cares, man? These guys. I'm not saying you have to offend anybody, but who gives a shit? That's the way you got to look at it this year. They're not helping you. They're not paying your bills. They're not helping you pay down your debt. It's a hard task to do. You need to be in a bubble. And you got to be able to, so this chapter 10 is build an obsessed team. I met a business owner whose main mission in life was to scour the earth for top-notch talent. So you think it's just Primerica. When I met a business owner whose main mission in life was to scour the earth for top-notch talent. That's your main mission. To scour the earth for top-notch talent. It changed my perspective on what it means to run a business. This is not Primerica recruiting. This is any great, big, growing organization. You're scouring the earth for top-notch talent. When mega successful businessman Larry Van Tuyl, who just sold one of his companies to Warren Buffett for $4 billion, meets new people, he shakes their hand, pulls them toward him so they are inches from his face, and says, I want you to come work with me. Yeah. This guy is intense about recruiting. Everyone is a potential recruit. Customers, vendors, strangers, waiters, waitresses, doormen, kids, anyone, everywhere. Larry runs a multi-billion-dollar company involved in real estate, insurance, technology, and automotive. He doesn't think small in anything and operates with almost an incomprehensible work ethic that exists in some state well beyond enthusiasm. Larry spends most of his time recruiting, obsessed, all in, great people. See, you think sometimes you acting and thinking a certain way is hurtful? It's actually helpful because you'll recruit the right people. I don't know how you feel about Jen, but you want one of Jen on your team. Okay? I had to be like this to harness somebody like that. To train and coach, because somebody this crazy, right? What do they say in the street? Real recognizes real. Is that what they say? Right? Larry spends most of his time recruiting obsessed, all-in, great people who could become extensions of his own all-in, obsessed mentality. He searches for hungry people who have an inner drive to show up early and stay late. Ask any great business person how they built their businesses, and somewhere in their answer, they will credit having surrounded themselves with great people. Simply put, to be the best, you must surround yourself with the best. You want people on your team who will do anything to see your business succeed. Jump off a building for you, run through walls for you, and believe they can fly because of you. You don't have anyone like that working for you. Shame on them. You can't grow a business without surrounding yourself with people who have that kind of commitment. You can't be the only maniac. You can't grow a business without hiring people who share your obsession. You can't grow a business without hiring people who share your obsession. And there are other obsessed people out there whom you should be hiring. Now, here's the awesome thing, Kevin. They're in their own business. So I have no conflict in telling Josh to be crazy about building his own business because he can make more money than me. I don't have to hold him back. Well, no, do this, work the hours, but I'm not going to pay you. Or I promise I'll give you a promotion, but there's 2 promotions, and so I gotta negate your promotion, Morgan. No, it's not lonely at the top. And you build your own business and you get as wide as you want, and that's all for you. I'm not tricking you. I want more RVPs. I want more regional leaders. I want more district leaders. I want people making more people making $10,000 a month. You need to make the obsessed mindset a part of your business culture from the top down. All great organizations have great people, all of them. All of them. All right. Let me go through a couple of these points. I went a little long on some of that, so maybe I'll finish this later. So, ultimately, we build freedom by finding great people. Okay? And great people are like eagles. Okay? If anybody's ever seen an eagle, they're not a flock of birds.
Mm-hmm.
Very hard to find. Okay? It's hard work. They're rare and hard to find. Keep going. Now remember this. 7 to 10 eagles in Primerica. At least, okay? If not more. We have some people that have this. And they have 1.5 million. Okay? But remember what you're fighting for. $500,000 passive income, $10,000 a week. Doesn't matter how long it takes. It's never going to happen anywhere else, man. Now you got to do the work, and you got to do the work consistently. And if you look at your last 12 months, if you didn't work, you might feel like you wasted your time, but you didn't. You just didn't work. Right? To create what I've had 3 years. That's it. You know, I can look at all my RVPs, okay? Only one of them I recruited myself. Only one. Everybody came from either a replacement or somebody that quit. And most of my directs, I mean, I got one in here. My brother, there's the only other person I recruited that's still here that, like I said, look, and you can have $500,000. Think about that. But by going through people, some quit. Getting better, keeping a great attitude, but you only need a couple. You don't need $1 million. And I promise you, you're here as long as me and you have what I have, you're going to have the same story. 1 or 2 people that you recruited. But yes, you got somebody who got somebody, that person either faded out or they went to RVP and you got replaced. And that's it. By getting very wide, continuing your obsessive prospecting. Keep going. Right? And Eagle's a first generation RVP, minimum 10 by 10,000, earning $100,000. Keep going. Okay. So I already went over this, right? It takes total commitment. 99% effort is like water at 211. It's hot enough to burn you, but you can't cook with it. Okay? You got to be committed this year, right? Like this year, right? There's 2 goals that you should have, main goals. How wide are you going to get? And how, and a number, right, of how many people you're going to have showing up. Draw these circles, fill them in. Right? If you want to go RVP this year, you would probably need at least 10 wide and 50 people showing up. Very doable if you work. Okay, keep going. Okay, so this obviously is, like I said, I used this training a long time ago, so some of the things are not up to date. Shondell and I were talking, and she was helping me with some of the stuff that we have to create less chaos in your business, okay? Engage in everything you possibly can. Okay, let me give you an example, right? I like to work out, I enjoy it, and I'd say I'm pretty committed. Like I go regularly, I always go. So we have, there's, just so people understand, right, how big the type of gym that I go to is, right? So there's a type of gym that they call it CrossFit. There's 30,000 CrossFit locations in the world. That's as many as McDonald's. Okay, it is one of the fastest growing fitness type workout gyms in the entire world. Okay, and it's extremely competitive. And the owner of our gym at the master's level, because he's 50, he qualified, and he's like number 5 in the entire world. Okay, and the people like they run Ironmans. You know what Ironmans are? Like they run a marathon, swim, 5 miles, and they bike 100 miles. And think about that. I don't know if anybody's ever even tried to swim like 400 meters. You'll die. Okay? I mean, it's so hard. Okay. The triathlon, you swim a mile. Okay. The Ironman, this dude's 50, this type of shape. And let me tell you something. This is for you guys. Okay. This is for you guys. All of you. If you want to have a great 2020. So he knows I come around, and I'm gonna be 40, right? So I'm okay for 40. I'm not like him, but I come around and people like me, and I stay at the gym because I don't have to go anywhere, right? So like I go to the lunch class, they're all in and out, but I can stay there. I'm like, hey, what's up? I was like, they're all like, do you work? Are you unemployed? I was like, well, I'm not employed. I'm not employed. And and I'm around. That's what I do, right? I go to the gym for an hour almost every day. And so he goes, hey, Shaq, right? They have an app. It's called SugarWatt, where you post your score. I'm not on it. And the owner, he likes me. He's a nice guy. He probably only has 150 clients, and I'm one of the regulars. He goes, hey, can you start posting on SugarWatt your scores? And listen, I don't post because I would literally be at the bottom. And I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed to tell you that. I'm ashamed of the scoreboard because I don't like being at the bottom.
Right.
But I'm like, no. I mean, and he's like, hey, listen. And he just says, he goes, look, if you post, I can look at your score and I can help you. And I'm thinking, all right, man, this guy's the owner. I like him. He personally asked me to do it, and he's freaking fit. He's in shape.
Yeah.
And when I say this, like they're in shape, like the type of gym, like a lot of veterans go to my gym, like vets, Army vets, and some of them have accidents when they're injured, like they can't walk, they something happened, and these guys, my coaches, rehab them. Like I talked to somebody, he's like, no, you don't understand. I came from Iraq, and I couldn't walk, and they taught me how to walk again. That's how smart they are. So it's like, I get injured, right? I ail all the time. Some of the time I go up a flight of steps, I'm like, check my pulse. I twist my ankle, man.
Oh, man.
So I'm like, it's good to know these guys because they know stuff, right? And these guys, my coaches, they coach like one of the teams that they coach at the gym. He went to the X Games for a BMX biker. These guys are, they play football, they do all these things, they compete, they play college lacrosse, all these things. I'm like, it's good to just know these guys. If I get injured, to know I'm not doing this just to do it. I do want to be in better shape. I'm a fitness addict. I love to be fit. I want to change my diet. You guys, if you see me, I'm trying, right? I'm not the best, but I'm trying, right? So he's like, all right. I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it. I'll start posting my scores. And I mean, many times, Therese, I'm absolutely dead last. But you know what? My scores got better. He'd start commenting on them. And then he'd say, hey, listen, come here. I saw your score. What were you doing? And he'll give me, this is something extremely stupid. It's working out. It's nothing. Doesn't make me any money, nothing. It's just for my own. If I'm going to do it, get better. He's like, hey, I want you to do the workout again. This guy's taking his time to work with me. I want you to do it again. Don't drop the barbell. He'll tell me something like that. You know what, Donald? This year, I'm telling you, and I'm older than I've ever right? Obviously, I'm the eldest I ever am right now, right? Best year of my fitness by far. Why? Because of plugging in. You guys don't, I mean, this is the locker room, right? You guys don't respond to me. How stupid are you?
Yeah.
You know, some of you guys don't reach out. You can't, I tell you to post, I gotta tell you to post. Like, the gym is the gym. That's something dumb. I love the gym, don't get me wrong. I love the barbell, I love the weights, I love all that. This is your freaking life. This is your financial freedom. This is you having a job or not. This is paying off your debt or not. This is retiring your husband or wife or not. This is putting your kids in college or not. You got some, and you know, as much, how long this guy's been doing this gym? 10 years. I've been doing this 16. As much as he knows fitness, I know Primerica, and I'm very confident in saying that. He's got 150 people, and he is in shape. I got 350 people, and I've created people, not I, the system, what we've done, what I know, what people have poured into me. We've created people that are making 100, 200, 300,000. You guys, how, you know, if Bruce texts me, I text him back in 5 minutes. Even if I can't call him back, I say, hey man, I'm doing something, can I hit you back later? It's just something as stupid as posting, because this guy asked me, he goes, just post your scores. I was like, no, man, I'm good. Really? Oh, I didn't want any accountability. I wanted to hide. I didn't want someone looking at me, and I wanted to be comfortable. But when someone asks you something, and they say something, and you know you got to post, you're going to do a little bit better.
Yeah.
Something as little as this, plugging in, staying engaged. It depends on what you want to do this year. I'm never going to make you feel bad if you don't come or if you don't plug in. I'm telling you now here on Friday, you guys are here. But look, you only got to do this for 2 or 3 years, man. Then you're done. And I'm not talking 100 or 200,000. You find a couple people, we're talking 400 or 500 grand. Keep going. So some of the stuff that Shondell talked to me about, okay? And I was just asking her about some of the stuff. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, go back real quick, Tom. All right. So Shondell sent me a technology email, right? Have you sent that out to everybody on the Google Drive? Okay, who is not sending that out to people?
Wait, what?
The technology email. Okay, I'm gonna read it. Shondell, this was just absolutely out of this world how good this email was. So did I ask you to make that, or you made it on your own?
Yes.
Okay, so I asked Shondell, I said, hey, we have technology and to keep people plugged in. And I was like, can you make me in bold? I'm not gonna pull it up, or maybe you don't pull up on the drive, but it says all the tech you need, okay? Which I thought was very good, right there. I think it's great. Our goal, hey Shaq, our goal is to help you be successful in every aspect of your business. We feel that with all the great technology out there, you should know what you need to get ahead and how to get access. And she has a little description on every single app you can download. It's just Primerica app, all the Primerica related technology, quoting, IBA, life apps, etc. Telegram, main communication source with our hierarchy, keep you in touch, your trainer, your team, announcements, activity updates from teammates. Zoom, okay, listen. If you're not using Zoom all the time with teammates, having little work sessions, there's something special about it, okay? Zoom is hilarious, right? Because, you know, people like, you know, my brother was telling me, hey, somebody did an appointment and they Zoomed in the car and it was like pitch dark and this and that, and, you know what I'm saying, like, and I think I Zoomed with Josh one time and, you know, he had a shirt on, but no pants on, nothing.
Oh my
Stand up, you know? And he had a little, you know, G-string on. You know, it's inappropriate, okay? You know, I don't know what you do on your Zooms, but I don't like this, okay?
I don't like this.
But I had to Zoom, you know, my kids always jump in on the Zoom when I'm trying to do it and stuff, but you know what? When you Zoom your teammates, you can at least see them. You can see them, I can see you, I can see, you know, I can see your face, man, because you know, everybody's on the ledge every day. They're on the ledge every single day. They're thinking about quitting. They're quitting on their goals and dreams, quitting Primerica altogether. putting back and going and giving their life to the job again. So sometimes you gotta look them in the face, man. You gotta talk to them and they can see you and you can say, hey man, and you gotta sell them the dream, you gotta talk to them, right? Zoom, it's great, great tool. You don't gotta drive over there, just Zoom them for 20 minutes. Get on Zoom, you can get on the car, you can talk to them, hey man, let's Zoom, let's go. Right? I told my brother this year, I said, look man, we're gonna do a lot of freaking Zoom this year. This is something we're gonna master because it's just great. You know, you can talk to people, I don't have to, now sometimes, look, nothing is better than in person, right? I have a gym at home, okay? And I use it, but it ain't like the gym when I go to the gym, right? When I go to the gym, the music, the people here in the barbell, you just get excited right when you walk in. The gym at home, it's like more of a punishment, right? I'll do it, but I'm like, should I do it? You know, I'll pound my chest and drink 10 cups of coffee and Red Bull, then I'll go in there, okay? But I still use it, so that's what Zoom is. Nothing will replace these meetings. Nothing will replace Saturday. But a lot of you guys, all you do is do Friday and Saturday. No, Zoom your team, man. Google Drive. Right? Access to all our PowerPoint trainings and our presentations exclusive to our office. Thank you. SoundCloud, listen to many self-improvement audios and content from the best Primerica businesses. YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, live training. Utilize Salesforce, Sales Team Pro. Listen, and I'll leave with that because I went over time. I'll finish this training. Maybe I'll leave a bunch of messages this week since you guys are here. I want to make sure I provide the value for the people here because we got to remove a bunch of people this week. So I'll leave these messages. But Sales Team Pro eliminates a lot of chaos in business, right? Holidays are coming. You know, you can send messages. You can create your database. There's numbers, there's metrics, there's good stuff. You can use your RVP's free account. You can use my free account. You better be Sales Team Proing everybody, entering their information in, following up, getting quality data so you can build a great business, right? But you know, like this email, you know, see, for Android users, for app, how legit is this? You hire something, I mean, it's amazing. Give Shondell a huge round of applause. Now, you know, I can say, oh, well, Shondell likes to do it. No, she did it because she's a team player.
Mm-hmm.
She did it because I asked her to do it, and she knows it'll be helpful. So, I mean, you know, people, Shondell, how many recruits have you had? 14 this month, right? This is somebody recruiting right now. How many direct? 7 or 8? 7. Somebody perennial recruiting, licensing. Use this. Or what do you say? Oh, hey, Peter, I'll tell you what I have to do. What is it? Oh, I forgot. What is it? Chaos. O&A. You don't have a business. You're like just floundering around until you don't have a job. No, let's run a business. And remember, Donald, okay, and I'll leave with this. I'm not saying in a weird way, okay? I'm not going to go pull people inches from my lips and say, I want you to work with me. I am going to say that, though, this year. I'm going to get a little more crazy this year. I thought about that. Like, why am I being shameful of what I have? Why am I making you feel bad? Like, no, I'll give you the opportunity too, right? But the more crazy you are, the more obsessed you are, the more serious you are, you're going to recruit the right people because they want to be part of it. Because when I get around people like that are high achievers in any field, it's inspiring. I see a great student, oh wow. I see a great fitness person, wow. I see a great entrepreneur, I'm like, wow. I see anybody that has excelled in their field, I'm inspired. I don't say, oh man, that's stupid. No. I'm inspired by great people. And that's what you need to be. So if I can give you 2 things today, right? Eliminate the chaos from your life in 2020. Yeah, get your finances in order. Get your home front in order. Get your schedule in order. Have a goal for how many directs you're going to have this year. Not directs that you hire, directs showing up. And your attendance. And let's start plugging in and being a little obsessed. something as little as responding, posting your activity. It lets me know where your head's at. It lets me know if you really want to get better. And I'm not gonna make you feel bad if you don't do it. This is the extent that'll happen in group training. But I just want you to understand what will happen. You'll drift off into anonymity, and you'll be like me, never, and I'm not saying I'm nobody in my gym, but I'm better than where I was a year ago. And for me, Rod, progress is success. As long as I'm making progress, I'm successful. Same here in Primerica. You make progress, you're successful. You're stuck or moving backwards, obviously that's a negative. But as long as you can progress, you went from 1 to 2, from 5 to 10, that's positive. Your income went up, that's positive. All right, so what? All right, these chairs, I just want to make sure, put them outside, and then I'm going to make sure that because I think we have to load them in a little bit differently.
Okay.
Unless Brandon's not there, then we'll load him in through the front.
Okay.
So I'll text you if he's not there, and let's help set up the room. Tomorrow at 9:30, bring your playbook. All right, we'll have the op meeting. We'll have training as normal, and we're going to break the set appointments. It's going to be basically month end, holidays, all that stuff. So we have set a ton of KTs tomorrow. And bring your list and make calls during the break. All right, team on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, and one other thing, either do it today or be prepared to do it tomorrow, register for the gala, please.
Yes.
You gotta get those in.
Look, we need those by December 1st, but January 1st, but here's the thing. If I don't have the registrations, they're not high enough, I'm gonna book a room for 50. Because I'm not gonna pay. Okay, so that's the problem, right? So if we don't get enough registrations, the room's gonna